I'm Russell Eastaugh, the Africa Tax Leader at Regan van Rooy, and I'm here to talk about this week's newsletter. Now, this week we're looking at a fairly unusual subject, and that's taxation in St Helena. Those who don't know, St Helena is a bit of a rock. It's a small island in the middle of the Atlantic, probably more connected to Africa than anywhere else, and that's kind of why we looked at it. It's a very small territory, population of what, about 4,500. It's been on a bit of a shrinking trend. There's two other related islands which we made very fleeting reference to in the newsletter. That's Ascension and Tristan da Cunha. Get those out of the way quickly. Tristan da Cunha, population of about 250 people, subsistence agriculture. You can't fly there, you can't live there, you can't buy a house there, so probably not much use unless you're catching fish in its exclusive economic zone. Ascension Island, a working military base. You're not allowed to live there unless you've got a good reason to. So again, perhaps not very much interested from a tax point of view. Funny enough, the rules there on exploiting fish seem to be different to St Helena, but we'll come back to that later. So what it is, very small place, as I said, fairly simple tax system. Has income tax, has capital gains tax. The good side is there's no VAT, no sales tax, no inheritance tax. Income tax is on a territorial basis, broadly speaking. So if you earn income there, you can pay tax on it. If you have a business, that's taxable. If you exploit their natural resources, then the EZ, etc., that's taxable. If it's foreign income, then it's not. Special low rate on interest if it's from a St Helena financial institution, which is then dealt with as withholding. And just look at those tax rates. Top rate of tax for individuals 31%. It can be less for the smaller amounts. Companies, it's 25%. There are some reduced rates for certain industries which the government's trying to encourage, because one of their big problems is trying to create a new industrial and economic base for the territory, which has been rather lacking for a long time. So certain things you can get the tax rate down to 15. Examples were exports, fishing, agriculture, and coffee production and brewing, and traditional crafts, whatever that is. So companies in those sectors, 15%. So that's obviously a bit of improvement on 26, and it's 15%. Oddly enough, is the same as the Pillar 2 top up minimum tax rate. So presumably it protects from that. So yeah, very small, but there could be interest for some people, and I think there could be an interest for foreign fishing companies exploiting fisheries in the area. As I said, the exclusive economic zone extends 200 miles out to sea, so it does for Tristan da Cunha and indeed for Ascension. And in Tristan and in St Helena, at least, it seems to me that anybody catching fish in those areas commercially would be subject to St Helena tax. So that's perhaps one of the main interests in it. But yeah, hopefully the economy will grow. There'll be opportunities and issues there. I think they now have much more reliable internet access through a new cable. So perhaps that puts the island in much better communication with the rest of the world and enabling the use of the internet more freely. So we live in hope this will bring new economic life to the territory and to the inhabitants of it, and perhaps it'll start getting more integrated into the worldwide economy, and there may be opportunities there. So that's it. Much more detail in the newsletter, and any problems or issues, please get hold of us. Cheerio.